Welcome to Wanderlust Worldwide, the channel where we explore the hidden stories of our planet, the places everyone thinks they know, and the truths most travelers never see. Today, we journey into one of Europe's most breathtaking landscapes of culture, memory, and mystery. This is Spain, the most beautiful country you never truly saw. Spain is a place many people think they know. They imagine beaches filled with sunseekers, postcard-perfect cathedrals, flamenco dancers moving in dramatic red dresses, and perhaps a paella pan steaming with saffron and seafood. These images are familiar, safe, and easily packaged, but they are only the surface of something far older, far deeper, and far more extraordinary. Spain is a country shaped by thousands of years of history, conflict, creativity, and survival. It is a mosaic of cultures that collide and coexist, a land that has been conquered, rebuilt, reinvented, and reborn more times than most nations can count. And the Spain the world thinks it knows is barely the beginning. To understand Spain, you must first understand its relationship with time. Here, time doesn't simply pass, it accumulates. The stones beneath your feet tell stories that stretch across empires. Every region, every village, every city is layered with thousands of years of human experience, stacked like chapters in an ancient book. The Iberians carved their symbols into the landscape long before the Romans arrived. The Romans built roads, aqueducts, and amphitheaters that still stand today, not as dusty relics, but as reminders that Spain once served as a centerpiece of the greatest empire the world had known. Walk through cities like Mérida or Tarragona, and you can still feel the pulse of a civilization that shaped the continent. Centuries later, the Visigoths left their imprint, and for nearly 800 years after that, Al-Andalus transformed the peninsula into one of the most advanced, intellectually rich civilizations of its age. This coexistence of cultures, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, and many others, created cities that became beacons of knowledge, science, and philosophy. Córdoba, at its height, held one of the largest libraries in the world, a symbol of a society driven not by conquest, but by curiosity. This diversity is not just history. It is the foundation of the Spanish identity. When you walk through Spain today, you are walking through layers of civilizations that never truly disappeared. They linger in the architecture, in the food, in the music, in the languages, and in the way people live their daily lives. That is what makes Spain so unique. It is a modern country built from pieces of worlds that still breathe through it. But the Spain most travelers see is only a fraction of this story. The real beauty of the country hides not in the tourist hotspots, but in the places where time has slowed or even stopped. Far from the beaches of the Mediterranean, Spain's northern regions reveal a completely different world. Galicia, with its misty cliffs and deep green forests, feels closer to Ireland than to the sunny stereotypes of the south. The rain-soaked cobblestone streets, ancient stone churches, and rugged coastline give it a mystical quality, as if every trail leads to a forgotten legend. The Basque country, fiercely proud and culturally distinct, has traditions, sports, and a language that predates every major European language we know. Here, the bond between land and people is so strong that even the mountains feel alive with identity. Asturias and Cantabria, carved by mountains and brushed by the wild Cantabrian Sea, are landscapes that would not look out of place in a fantasy epic. Snow-capped peaks rise above emerald valleys, and hidden lakes reflect skies so clear they look unreal. These are regions where cows roam freely on alpine meadows, and fishing villages cling to dramatic coastlines, shaped by storms and centuries of solitude. Most travelers never step foot here. Further inland, the heart of Spain stretches across the Meseta, a vast high plateau dotted with windmills, wheat fields, and small towns that seem frozen in time. This is the Spain of old stories, the Spain of Don Quixote, where imagination and reality blur in the quiet immensity of open space. The horizon stretches endlessly, giving you the sense that you are walking through the pages of a long-forgotten tale. Here, summer heat wraps the land in golden silence, and winter can bring winds that cut across the plains like something out of another age. Villages may be small, but each one carries its own personality, its own traditions, its own way of life. There are towns where elderly men still sit outside their doors in the evening, discussing politics and weather. There are bakeries that still prepare bread using ovens older than the baker. There are festivals so ancient they are older than the churches that surround them. In some places, even the street names tell stories that have survived for centuries. And yet, so few outside Spain ever hear of these places. Spain's beauty is not limited to landscapes. Its cities are among the most culturally significant in Europe, but they are often misunderstood. Barcelona is celebrated for its architecture, but its true essence lies not in postcards of Gaudi's buildings, but in the creativity that pulses through its streets, markets, and traditions. It is a city of contradictions, ancient Roman walls standing steps away from modernist masterpieces, fishermen's quarters next to high-tech design hubs. This constant blend of old and new gives Barcelona a rhythm found nowhere else. Seville is known for flamenco, yet the soul of the city exists in the quiet courtyards, the scent of orange blossoms, and the echoes of history that shaped every tile, every arch, every narrow alley. It is a place where music, architecture, and emotion intertwine so deeply that even a simple walk feels like a journey through centuries of passion. Madrid, often overshadowed by its coastal counterparts, is a powerhouse of art, ideas, and heritage. A place where modern life blends seamlessly with centuries of culture preserved in palaces, museums, cafes, and neighborhoods that feel like entire worlds of their own. The rhythm of Madrid is different from the rest of Spain. Energetic, intellectual, bold, yet still grounded in the traditions that give the country its soul. And then there is Andalucia, a region that defies simple description. It is Spain's poetry, Spain's drama, Spain's memory. It is a place where Islamic, Jewish, and Christian histories intertwine so deeply that the walls themselves seem to whisper. The Alhambra in Granada, the Mezquita in Córdoba, these are not monuments. They are survivors. They are chapters of a cultural golden age when science, philosophy, architecture, and poetry flourished at extraordinary levels. Many visitors walk through them, but far fewer pause to understand the intellectual and spiritual universe that once existed within those walls. But the deepest beauty of Spain lies not in its monuments or museums. It lies in the everyday lives of its people. Spain is a country where community still matters. In small towns, the plaza, the central square, is more than a public space. It is the heart of daily life. Children play there, grandparents chat there, and during festivals, the entire town gathers there, keeping traditions alive in ways that feel timeless. Meals are not rushed, but shared, often stretching late into the night. Conversations, laughter, debates, these are as essential as the food itself. Spain's beauty is in these moments, in the ways people interact, in the rhythms of daily life that have persisted for generations. Even Spain's festivals reveal a story deeper than spectacle. La Tomatina, the Feria, San Fermin, Las Fallas. These are events shaped by local identity, by centuries-old customs, by stories passed from one generation to the next. They may look chaotic or wild to outsiders, but beneath the fireworks and the music lies a profound sense of belonging. Every celebration, no matter how modern it looks today, began as a ritual that meant something to a community, something sacred, something symbolic, something tied to harvests, seasons, survival, or faith. In the quieter corners of the country, you find a Spain that feels almost untouched by time. A fisherman repairing nets at dawn in a small village on the Mediterranean. An elderly woman sweeping the front of her home in a stone-built town deep in the interior. Olive groves stretching endlessly under the scorching Andalusian sun. Vineyards turning gold and red during autumn in La Rioja. A shepherd guiding his flock through a path his ancestors walked centuries before. These are the moments where Spain reveals itself not as a tourist attraction, but as a living, breathing heritage. Spain is a country of contradictions, and that is part of its beauty. It is modern yet ancient, loud yet quiet, bold yet subtle. It is a place where multiple identities coexist, sometimes in harmony, sometimes in tension, but always with a shared sense of legacy. Every region fiercely preserves its own traditions, yet all are tied by a common thread of history and culture that makes Spain what it is. So when people say they've been to Spain, what they often mean is that they've seen the brochures, the big cities, the famous beaches. But to truly understand Spain, to truly feel it, you must look deeper. You must step away from the familiar and embrace the unknown corners. You must listen to the stories written in stone, in song, in food, in silence. Because Spain is not just a destination, it is an experience, a memory that lingers. A country filled with worlds hidden within worlds. This is Spain, the most beautiful country you never truly saw.